This episode of Shoppe Talk is brought to you by K Essentials Hair Care. Heal, hydrate, and grow your hair without buildup, because self-care starts at the roots. The Beauty Shop. For Black women, it's a place that represents freedom, individuality, style, and transformation.
It's where Black women have historically found their dignity, healing, and sometimes their identity.
It's the place we go to get glam, unwind, gossip, and sort out our lives.
One sidebar conversation can easily unite and ignite passionate discussions about everything.
From celebrity news, fashion trends, to sports and politics.
Shoppe Talk is a show that focuses on the concerns of mature Black women
who want to dig deeper on how they can better take care
of themselves, their families, finances, careers, and close relationships.
Nothing is off the table when you are in the chair.
On Shoppe Talk.
We're back with more Shoppe Talk. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Fantastic. I can't complain.
You look good. Everybody looks real good. I like your hair.
You like my hair? Oh, yeah. Shoppe Talk.
Yes,
So,
hair motion.
I got a little Shoppe Talk this morning.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that because the girl don't really get her hair done. But it's all good. It's all good. I don't.
So we've been chit-chatting quite a bit about all sorts of stuff, but one of the things we're going to talk about this week is what are the benefits of being married in this modern age? You know, I was talking to someone not too long ago about whether or not it's even worthwhile.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew she was going to say that.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tina's getting ready to remarry.
Yeah, when he comes along, but I think it's worth it. Not mostly for me, biblical, yes, but I also think it's worth it too, because just think about if you're dating somebody, you've been dating somebody for 5, 6, 7 years.
Who dates somebody for 5, 6,
people
7
do,
years?
Kaya.
Though?
People do. So everybody's not like you, African girl.
I think
But
it's an
listen,
American thing.
African American girl, I'm giving you 2 years. If you don't
To
know
make
what you
up
want to
your
do with me in
mind.
2 years, then we
Exactly.
need to move on.
But I'm
There's
just saying,
nothing-
okay, it happens.
Okay.
And you have children.
You're right.
And the person dies.
Okay.
And if you don't have anything with that person legally, you have no rights to nothing. So that means if his mom, whoever his mom is living, they come in and they make all the decisions. If that person, want to pull the plug or not, you can't make that decision. Even though you've been dating this person for the last 5, 6, or 7 years, and maybe it was a choice that you all didn't want to be married. Some women want that. You have no rights for anything. So that means his insurance, that means whatever he has, you get nothing. So
But I don't think that a marriage is supposed to be about what you can get.
No, it's not supposed to be. When a person is dead and you don't be with them for all that long time, you want something.
Okay, well, we're talking about people who are alive and want to get married.
Yeah, let's talk
Or
about life
don't
people.
get married.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, first of all, I think that for a person to date for 5, 6 years, 7 years, both of you are messed up. I don't know what's going on. A man knows they want to marry a woman in the first probably 6 months. They know they want to marry you, and you can pull it, for 2 years, because before you get married, you want to see your ups and downs together. You want to go through the hurricanes together, the happy times together, the no money together, the maybe death in a family together. And 2 years isn't, it's a long time enough for a person to see somebody's true colors. So the 5 to 6 years, it's out of the question. So if that person dies, obviously you didn't prepare yourself enough because you were dating that person long enough and you're trying to figure out what I don't know.
It happens though. I
It
know
does.
it
Now,
happens. It happens.
It happens, yes. For those who happens, I'm just, out there to give you some advice. If somebody's not marrying you in 5 to 7 years, they don't want to marry you. So now when it comes to marriage in modern days, I think that, marriage is a beautiful thing. As long as you find, my mom always used to say there's no right person. There's no perfect person, right? No perfect man. If you're looking for a perfect man, for a perfect woman out there, they're not even born. Even your own child is not perfect. So keep looking. But when you find a person who is willing to go through the ups and downs with you, the joys and the tears and everything, and you marry that person, I think it's a beautiful thing, because it makes things a little bit easier. And I'll say this, whether it's financially or just in decision making. I mean, you guys know when my husband passed away, I've had days when I'm taking out the trash and I'm boohoo crying. Like, oh my God, I don't even want to take the trash because you could take the trash, right? When I put gas in my car, I'm like, ah, not like it's a job, but it's just like, you used to put the gas in the car. You used to make sure my car is fixed. You used to make sure this. And in our marriage, we were balanced. He was very good with finances, and I was very good with spending. So that was a very good balance for us, right? So when we sit down,
Is that a balance, girl?
my husband was the financial planner, and I was the financial spender. So it worked out for us, right? So we do the financial plan. I do the spending. He does the planning.
I like that.
So I
That's
think
a
it
new
makes
balance.
life very easy.
Yeah.
When it's go and pick up the kids. He goes, he picks up the kids. Oh, let's like right now, of course I was starting to have anxiety because I'm like, my son is coming out of school because today is early release, right? So, but if he was there, I'd have said, go and pick up the baby. And it makes, I think going through life with somebody makes life easier.
It does.
It makes
I agree.
decision making easy because we can wear the pants as women, but there are some decisions that men are just supposed to make. And there are decisions that I'm as a woman, I'm supposed to make. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then when you have that balance, I think everything moves smoothly. So that's how I feel about, marriage, whether it's the modern day or, the traditional days or the times of my mother. Marriage is a beautiful thing. When you find somebody who's willing to go through the journey with you. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree. I mean, I had some good times in my marriage. I'm not saying that everything.
So we're not all bad.
I'm not saying I'm not saying everything was bad. So I mean, it will be bad for me to say that for my ex, and that's my children's father as well. So I'm not saying that, but I do believe in marriage. I think a lot of what are y'all millennials? And you're different.
I'm an elder millennial. I'm at the top of the millennial food chain.
Are you at top of
I'm about to become an older one.
I'm just saying, you all are the largest generation on earth right now.
Oh.
And I think that you all changed a lot of things when it comes to how people look at marriage, how people look at careers, how people look at just fashion, everything. Y'all did that as a
We
group.
did that.
Yeah, y'all did that as a
Yes.
group.
But I think that people are like trying to figure out what is the benefit. So younger millennials,
Yeah.
I would assume, and in the conversations that I've
Because y'all are
had,
different.
they are different.
No,
you
I'm
know?
just saying y'all are different.
Well, right, we're different
y'all
from
are
that.
different from them.
So
Absolutely.
younger millennials, I think that they are more interested in figuring out the why of why do I need to get tied down. There's still this idea of being tied down in a marriage, having this ball and chain. And I don't feel that way. I feel like you should like the person that you marry, not just love them, but really like the person enough to want to go through those ups and downs with them. And just, I don't think a lot of people realize that ups and downs are going to happen. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Yeah.
Even in a mother-daughter, even in a mother-son. So if you're getting in a marriage,
even in girlfriend friendships.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're going, even at a job,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So if you're going in a marriage thinking that it's all going to be roses and red wine, you've got it all twisted.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get married. Because the first days, let me tell you, at the honeymoon phase, right? And I remember our honeymoon phase, baby, you could not tell me nothing. Excuse me, my husband would even massage me. Come on, somebody. Then you start getting into the marriage, and the kids come, you're like, oh, I'm tired, I was watching the baby, right? Oh, how about the massage? But baby, we're tired. Can we just go to the massage parlor tomorrow? Are you going to bring my water? But babe, you already okay. So the honeymoon phase fades away, right? But I've always told people my parents were married for 50 years.
That's a long time.
And a very long time. And unfortunately, my mom lost my dad to death. But, I watched their marriage. And I remember asking one time when I got married and I wanted to get out of the marriage. And I said, Mom, I can't deal with this person. It was the socks on the floor and this. And my mom is like, oh, so you thought me and your father never fought? I say, did you guys fight? And she says, yes, just not in front of you. I'm like, wow. So we made it a goal that I would never have an argument with my husband in front of my children.
I like that.
And my children never saw us fight. maybe sometimes you just go like, yeah, just bring me the water. But it wasn't the fight where we are, fighting about, this and that. And I remember one thing before we got married, we told each other that we will never fight about finances. Anything that has to do with money, we'll figure it out together. If money is short, we'll figure it out together. But we are not going to fight over finances because money comes and goes.
Yeah, it's a flow. It's supposed to be fluid for a reason. That's why it's currency, because it flows,
up
right?
and down.
So I totally agree with the not fighting, but I think to the next level of it is just having that layer of respect where you're respectful.
Yeah.
So I was in a wonderful relationship, and I've told you all, of course, about my wonderful relationship with a young man who passed away several years ago. And one of the things that my mom would talk about when she would come over is like, you all are saying thank you when you bring him a plate, and he says, please to you. And she was just like, that's so strange. And I was like, why is it strange? But I think a lot of people think that relationships should have tension in order for it to be good.
The millennials started that.
I don't know. I think older folks might think that
I'm
too.
not in that. 'Cause
I'm talking about older than you.
Oh, older
you know what I
than
mean?
me. Oh, okay,
because the
okay.
man had his place and a woman had her place.
Oh, okay.
And so my observation has been that, throughout my family at least, I think people think that, marriage is supposed to be a little tit for tat, and a woman is supposed to kind of sit back and just, let things happen, as opposed to being respectful, being kind, and keeping that at the forefront of your relationship. I feel like being kind, anybody that I date from now on, if you're not kind to me, cut.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Women, we have to be kind. I mean, I think both of us were married. Yeah, you've dated, outside your race. But with me, I think that as a black woman, black men in this country, I mean, in the world, just at large, are going through a lot. And your partner, and this goes both ways, because if I treat you like a king, you have to treat me like a queen. I'm not going to treat you like a king if you're treating me like a doormat. Those are two different things. But as a black woman, if your partner comes home, you have to be his peace.
Yeah, you say that all the time.
I want my husband to come home. I don't want him to circle around the corner.
Do I want to go? Listen.
Should I go home? Should I stay in the corner? Should I go home? Should I stay at the corner? I want him to want to come home and be excited to come home. Like, whoo, work is done. I'm going home to my wife. You know what I mean? And my girlfriends and I were talking
That's good.
and the other day, and we were talking about, and she opened up about something, and she said, I finally had a heart-to-heart talk with my husband, and he said to me, sometimes I don't like coming home to you. And she said that made her change the way she would nitpick at everything and just bickering. And I said, wow, it had to take him to say that. Because I used to wonder, why are you not coming home early? She says, it's because every time I get home, we get in a fight.
It's more stress.
It's always like I'm stressed. So I have to stay at the corner and wait to make sure maybe you and the kids are sleeping. Wow. And I say to her, that every marriage has its ups and downs, but you want to be your partner's peace. You want to be as he protects you, as a man, he's supposed to protect you. Be his peace. Be not his panic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to make sure when he comes to you, you are his safe place where he can just open up and say, listen, at work, I had all these things going on, but I'm just happy to be home. You know what I mean? So, marriage is not supposed to be fighting all the time. We fought, but most of our times were happy times. I can literally count the times that we fought because we chose happiness over everything.
Yeah.
And he was very forgiving. Katrina can tell you. My husband would get upset 5 minutes, and then when he snaps out of it, I am upset. Like, why are you okay? Because I made you upset.
And I'm still upset.
Like, I'm still upset, and you're okay.
And he's like, girl, what we doing?
Yeah.
And that's it. So our
Moving
life
right
is-
along.
we've moved on, you know what I mean? So I think respect, like you said, is always, if you respect me and I respect you, respect is the core of any marriage and communication.
I think so too. And I was privileged enough and able to see you in that relationship. And
Oh, you knew her then?
Yeah, we know each other a long time.
Oh, way
And
back.
I was in, in their space and everything, and it was beautiful.
Oh.
And the way that they loved each other, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Oh.
But it was beautiful. And I told you that, and I told you when I met you all, when I saw you all together, because we did something together, I was like, oh, I said,
And
Erica,
she was
he's
glowing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's probably the one. I told you that. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. But anyway, it was really good. Of course, and I've seen you with your husband as well, and the way that you all respect and treat each other was very important. And that's the thing I did too in my marriage. My children will tell you, like their dad and I would get in a little confrontation, but being disrespectful to each other, we never done that.
Yeah.
My children probably couldn't even, if I call their dad a bad name, they probably look like, who are you talking about?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? But I wouldn't know, and it was vice versa. And I think that young people have to realize that you need to be respectful.
Very.
Because you know what? You cannot take that word back.
Yeah.
When it comes out your mouth,
I can't come back.
it's out
It's
your
gone.
mouth. It's gone.
in
So
the
be
ocean.
mindful of that when you are married to someone. Don't be disrespecting your spouse.
And get married for the right reasons,
Yeah,
So,
it's
one of the benefits that I think gets overlooked is the economic benefit of two people who are bringing something in, even if one of them
making
doesn't
less.
work.
Well,
Yeah,
that too. Or
one is
make
making less or one doesn't work. That doesn't mean that you're not contributing. So the contribution of making life easier and work together, I feel like that matters.
Yeah, I can tell from her too. It makes a difference. No, I'm just saying. We can talk. We said we're going to be open.
Yes.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, because when I'm having a hard time financially now, it's just me. You understand what I'm saying? There's no, and my mom is not living, so it's like you can't call your mom and be like, girl, can you spot me like this week? And I tell people, if you have mom, that's a good thing. And then for her, I could see that because her husband would allow it. He knows that she loves her shoes. So it was like, okay, we're not going to fuss about this. So it was just like, girl, go ahead and get your shoes. And she's able to do that because you have two incomes. And even if one is less, you're able to do those little splurges or go out of town on those little trips and things like that. But as a single mom, you have to think about that. I was just telling my children too, I'm like, I don't know, I think I need a vacation or do something. So I have to really plan it out because it's just me.
Yeah.
And that's it. My bank account say just me. Ain't nobody giving me no money.
And I mean, when it comes to
just me.
and another thing,
Ain't nobody giving me no money.
another thing I've noticed, but I think again, don't judge me, but I think this is really an American thing, and I'm talking from an African perspective. When a man is not working, a woman treats that man differently, especially if she's bringing the money in. And there's a time when my husband was not working. He was building up his business. And I was the only one working when we were still at Afro. But my husband will always be my king. When we come and sit at the table and we're talking about the budget, it's not like, oh, listen, I'm the one who works, so I'm the voice here. No. He was the planner, I was the spender. So we said, this is the money.
Even still.
Yes, I'm still the spender, but you know what, like she said to you, I'm just recently widowed, so I have to really look at my finances in a different way because it's not one income coming. But we'll sit down and still plan until his business got up. I never castrated him. I never made him feel less a man because I'm the one bringing the bread.
You can't do that.
You know what I mean? So
we do.
That
we
goes
still,
back to the kindness, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't think a lot of people are really trying to be kind to their partner. It's almost like you want to demote them and degrade them and shame them into feeling like they should be doing something different or they should be doing more for you. But it's not about what they can do for you. It's about what you all can accomplish together.
Yeah.
and making each other's life easier.
Yes.
So let's
I
shift
agree with
into finances in a relationship, in a marriage,
And a secret bank account.
the secret bank account. So do you have separate bank accounts? Do you have joint account? Do you have a little extra? Because I was always taught to have your just in case account for you, and that doesn't mean that it's for a crazy secret spending, lavish, outrageous stuff, but it could just be maybe I want to throw him a surprise party. Maybe I want to, buy him a new whatever and I don't want him to know about it. Or Yeah, if I want to go and get something and I don't want to explain it, and I have the money to do that.
Say it,
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah, I had a secret bank account.
You
And
did.
yes, ever since I was a little girl, my mom told me you have to have a secret bank account. I think it's just,
Really?
and I saw my mom do it when my father would, like sometimes he needs some money, and my mom was like, "Don't worry, I got it," and my father would be like, and I thought I couldn't justify this. I used to feel so terrible, but I was listening to a preacher preach, and he was talking about a young man who was married to a woman, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and he used to give her allowance, right? And he would give her allowance because she stayed at home, allowance for food, for whatever, and this woman was keeping the money. Proverbs 31st women, right? And this man just got terminated from work, like nothing explained, nothing. You've lost your job, and that's it. So he comes home, and of course, he goes to his peace, his place of comfort, his safe place.
Yeah.
And he says, I've lost my job. I don't even know what we're going to do. And she's just sitting there smiling. And he says, oh, so it's about time for you to write your book. And he says, with what money? He says, all this money you've been giving me for all these years? I've kept it so we can survive for at least 5 years because I kept that money. So yes, a secret bank account is recommended for any woman out there listening to me.
Particularly if you're a saver.
Her husband at the end.
But it was hers. Her husband did not know about that bank account, right? So
Okay.
at the end of the day, that helped them as a family. And with me, it has happened in my marriage, where sometimes, like I said to you, he lost his job, and I'm like, don't worry, I got you, I got this, right? Because I had the money saved from all these,
All those
eBay,
things that you
Poshmark,
do.
this, that I do.
All the things that you
And while he was building his business, I was bringing money, but all these side gigs I was doing were bringing money too. But when he wanted like money to even do big things, I said, don't worry, I got this. And he's looking at me like, I said, yeah, I got this. But I had the money put away. So I'm an advocate for it.
Yeah,
That's the best.
I don't know. That's different to me. I think that's a secret bank account with good intentions.
Oh, yes.
And no, I'm serious. That's a secret bank account with good intentions.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people do things with malintent. Now I
Oh,
can
that's
see having
different.
a bank account, secret bank account with good intentions, but I don't really think having one with malintent or anything like that. So I would do separate. So I don't know if I would necessarily do secret. So I'll probably say, hey, I have my own account. You don't have to know the amount that's in there or the total that's in there.
So what's the difference with that and the secret account? If you have an account and he doesn't have to know the amount that's
he
there,
don't
what
have
are you
access
keeping
to
the
it.
account?
Well, I
Well,
guess
I'm
the
just saying
secret
I
is
don't
if
know.
he doesn't know it all.
Yeah, he doesn't
right?
know it all. He can know that I have a separate account.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that because even though I was married, I had a separate account. He knew I had a separate account.
But he didn't know
But
the
he didn't got to
amount.
know my balance in my separate account because it's my account.
I mean, see, I
So you're
think
saying it's secret,
it's
but
secret. Because
Still secret.
if I'm married to you, I mean, you know my finances. But if I have a bank account and you don't know the amount, that's a secret bank account. But he knows about the bank. It's just a secret bank account with money.
So then are you
I can
saying
see it.
that if we're married, you got to know everything about what's going on with me?
Yes.
Everything?
Erica, marriage is two people coming together.
Okay.
You put Erica stops here.
Okay.
And this is a new life you're starting. When you're starting the new life, you know the good, the ugly, the indifferent. You see me without makeup, with makeup, with snot coming out of my nose. You know. I'm not saying don't tell him about the bodies you've been with in the past, before him. But now you've come together. When two are joined together, you become one.
Yeah.
So there is no other thing of me doing something that he's not, he will find out later. No. You've become one. So he knows everything. That's why I don't agree with this account she's talking about. I would rather have a secret bank account and know that, hey.
Because if he knows, I need to tell him the balance.
And
So when he's like, oh, well, I have like $50,000 in that account. Don't be thinking of something happened. Don't be thinking about my money.
no.
That's hilarious.
Okay, I mean, I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know. I mean, that's good. That's a good perspective. You helping me out because I can shift and think something different. But I would just say let them know, but not the amount in it. So
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
believe
think
that
no. I don't know.
what's
What do you
yours is mine and what's mine is mine. That's kind of where I am. What I don't need to tell you. I mean, I don't know, maybe it'll change.
What you just said?
Yeah, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Oh.
What's his is mine, and what's mine is mine. I don't see why not.
I like that, but
I mean, that's just that
That's
is
not gonna
from.
work in a marriage, though.
Yeah, it will.
You think so?
It did before, and it didn't work for long. But for
I was
those,
about to say, wait a minute, aren't you?
for those 4 glorious, rusty years, yeah, it worked out great.
so now you're going to.
So whatever I brought in went to my account, and he didn't question it. And so whatever he brought in
Went to the joint.
got allocated to what we needed to take care of. I think that makes sense.
Wow.
Because I'm taking care of you. I'm making sure that your house is nice. I'm making sure that you're happy and you're comfortable.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you really gonna bother me about getting these shoes? Really? Really?
Oh, okay.
Can't
Okay,
bother
well,
me about that because it's
that's
not like we don't
different.
have it. If we
Okay.
didn't have it and I'm going and splurging, then that's a different story.
That's different.
But what I bring in from what I do for work, that's for me.
Okay.
Oh no, I understand.
I got
Yeah.
that. I got
takes
that.
a woman
That's
to-
good.
What's yours? It's mine. And what's mine is mine.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, let's pay some bills and take a little reset. Well, that was exciting. That was a lively little conversation. We are here to do shop talk, so that's what we're doing. We're talking about all
You
the
think?
stuff.
All the things.
So, you know, in the news, there's clearly every day we see something about another life that's lost. We see something about, you know, just police brutality and just awful things that are going on. How do you all feel about respect and civility just in general? Because I feel like the climate of our world doesn't afford for there to be any anymore.
So I think it starts with an individual. You know, I don't think that you can change the world, but you can change the circle and the surroundings that you are around. You know, just like you said earlier, be kind to people, be respectful to people, not because they ask you to, but just that's just the way it should be. You know what I mean? I shouldn't walk around just being angry and ugly for no reason, because there's no reason for that. So I don't think that it's gone. I think it's a lot of people still in the world that show kindness, and especially around this time of year, it's amazing to me how so many people show do so many things. Gratitude to kindness, paying for people lunch, paying for people coffee, you know, going to Walmart, paying for all the layaways and different things like that. Why can't you show that throughout the year? Why does it have to be around Christmas time? Why can't it be in February? Why can't it be in March? So I think if you just do that, I think people, it just kind of like catches fire to me. So I don't think it's lost. Is the world crazy? Absolutely. Are people deranged? Absolutely. But I don't think it's, you know, the entire world. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, like you said, I think it begins at home. How you raise a child and what they become in the world and the circles you choose to be in. So obviously it begins at home. But I think I agree with Erica. It's a little bit lost. Last week, Katrina and I and Shania went to McDonald's. And this woman, I mean, first of all, I hate McDonald's. I mean, I hate
only eat the
McDonald's.
fries,
I hate
disclaimer.
Walmart. I hate Walmart. The people they don't want to work. It's
They
just
want to
crazy.
sponsor. We don't hate you. We just dislike you.
That's what I said.
So we're gonna
Yes,
we're gonna leave the door
like
open.
McDonald's because they have great
Right.
stocks on the stock market, okay? And it's not McDonald's, it's the employees. So we went to buy some fries. Oh my God, she was having a bad day. If I tell you that, you can hear it in the voice, and I'm like, what in the hell is going with your bloody self?
And what did I do to you to
And what
deserve
did I
this?
do? She was so rude.
She's mad we only spent $1.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, okay. Then I think 2 days later, I took my kids to Chick-fil-A. God, I love Chick-fil-A and would love for you to sponsor us. The treatment was totally different.
Yeah.
They were very nice. Thank you, ma'am. You have a blessed day. And like, what is the difference in it's customer service? People who get hired at McDonald's, they're just unhappy people.
Not all of
I
them.
think it's just the environment.
Not all
And then
of
if you
them.
go to Chick-fil-A, it's totally different, you know. But I think we are living in a world where there's so much turmoil and, you know, a lot is going on in the world. And, you know, even if the next person is rude to you, be kind. You know, we tell them how beautiful they are because you don't know if that person is seconds away from killing themselves. Or you don't know if they're seconds away from exploding. So you telling them that you look great because regardless of the way people treat you, don't treat them the same.
But yeah,
You know
I
what
agree with
mean?
that.
You don't return evil for evil.
Yeah.
Be kind because the world is so cruel, and the next person just needs to hear kind words.
So what I've had to learn too is that just because I'm receiving it one way doesn't mean that it was intended that way, right? And then also you have to put your best effort into showing people how to treat you. You know, teaching people how to treat you. So even if it's a complete stranger, I try my best to show people how to respect me because I respect me. I respect my boundaries and I need for you to do the same. Whatever that means. If you're calling me too much or if you are, or if you're not calling me enough, or, you know, if there's a lack of communication or if there is just some type of breakdown, I am willing to be vulnerable and expressive enough to express it to you.
Oh,
If you don't get
expressive, honey.
very,
We know.
you get all the fingers, you get all the lashes, you get all the eyebrows, you get all the teeth.
Girl.
I will give you all of the expression.
You buried all.
But I also have to give you the benefit of the doubt to correct yourself. And if you do that, then
No, but
you
you're
know,
respectful too now.
I try to
You-
be.
No, you are because I don't know if I can tell the story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. But you know, no,
Wait,
you
did you get
are.
my permission? You didn't get my permission.
Oh, it's not bad though. It's not a bad
Okay.
one. And I don't have any bad experience with you anyway. But it was good when we had an event. We did our photo shoot and everything. We had some things go around. So my daughter came with me to Erica's home because that's where we did our photo shoot. Honey, let me tell you. The first thing Miss Edie said when we walked in the house, she was like, "Hey, welcome," you know. But she was like, "This is an area that you all need to be in. I don't like people walking around my house." And and I was like, "Okay."
I'll let you keep your shoes
Yeah,
on.
you did. And I said, "Do I need to take my shoes off?" Because in my home, I like for people to take their shoes off, especially now since I have a granddaughter when she's starting to scoot a little bit. And the thing is, my daughter and I did not get offended by that.
Because y'all are good people.
Well, we didn't get offended at all, even if I was a bad person, because my thing is, that's like you said, it's about respect.
Yeah.
That's your home. That's your space. And if you invited me to your home, first of all, you like me in some type of way if you invited me to your home, because everybody don't get invited to people's houses. I don't invite everybody to my house.
This is true, and they don't need to be.
Must like me because you have invited me to your
But you know what?
Everybody
Someone
gets
who
invited
is
to
a
their house.
roamer, a person who likes to roam around, people say, "Oh, let
I
me
don't
go
like-
to the bathroom. Oh, girl, oh, look at this on the wall. Oh, look at this in the baby's room." That's what people
No,
like to
that's-
do.
that's
Do not be
disrespectful.
walking around. You cannot invite yourself to my kitchen unless you walk through it to get to.
That's what I'm
You know what I'm
saying.
saying?
That's
Only go to the places that you walk
That's what I was
through.
asking you ladies. Like, so this really happens because when you visit a home
That's
in an African
disrespectful.
setting, you sit where you're told to sit, and that's it. I mean, you can ask for the bathroom and go to the bathroom, but you're not going to go in the kitchen and touch this
Wander
and touch
around
that.
and
There are
stuff.
people
Look in the
who
room.
roam.
Listen, I don't know, but she was like, "This is the area."
And please
This is where you go.
You know what else? I've had people
But
to
we did-
follow me. You know, when we're having a conversation, I'm in the living room, we're talking, chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden, they will follow me. If I'm like, "Yeah, girl, hold on one second," and then I'm walking into my room or something, they'll just kind of People do all the things.
Yeah.
They step outside of their
We weren't
bounds.
offended by it because, like you said, it's about respect. And you know, my daughter like, well, that's awesome, but we were gonna probably sit there anyway because that's what I taught my children too. Like you said, it starts at home. My children know, do not wander around people's houses, honey. Don't you go in the refrigerator. Don't you do none of that. You sit your behind down.
Because you don't know what's in that refrigerator.
What if it's a whole human? It's a human body in the refrigerator.
Oh my
God.
Or you go in there and try to get something to drink or something to eat, and you don't know what's in you don't know what I cooked with.
But I'm with you. It's about respect. So I don't think it's lost. I do agree it starts at home. You need to teach your children boundaries. You need to teach your children to be kind.
Yeah.
Because some people teach their kids to be mean. Teach your children to be
Some
kind.
people need to teach their adults to be kind, because I'm telling you, there are adults who just don't
Ain't no hope for
possess
them.
it. They don't possess it. They don't have it within them to just be civil. And to me,
There's something wrong with them, Erica.
yeah, I know, but I just feel like this country is challenged when it comes to civility. You can see it all over social media. You know, every day we're seeing somebody. I don't know if maybe they're just trying to do it for the gram. You know, they're trying so hard to just go viral. I think a lot of people are trying to go viral, really.
Yeah, it's viral.
And that's why they offer up the disrespect the way that they do.
I
But
want to be viral for a good thing.
I'm not
I wanna
here
be
for
viral
it.
For a nasty thing.
I agree. I want to be viral for how cute I dance, or, you know, I sing well, or something
Honey, how you show up to the
nice.
ball, baby. Look,
Hello.
can we do the finger roll? She didn't even know she did that until I
Stop
told her.
it. You always make me do this.
Teach your children to respect while
Yeah.
they're young, so
Yes.
they can be better civilians in the world when they grow up.
Yes.
Because if your children don't know how to respect you or even the people around them, how do you expect them to?
We have to talk about
Let's get into that real
Yeah,
quick.
we get into
Let's get into it right now.
Yes.
Children and respecting their parents. Now, one thing that I have seen in other circles is that children can just call their parents by their first name.
Which child? Whose child? Calling who? By whose name?
You know, children who tell their parents what they want to do, and that's just the way it's going to be. And, you know, and I understand not wanting to spank or whoop your children, but I wasn't raised like that. And so I'm having a hard time reconciling with having a daughter. You know, she's very sweet, but she can also be a little
That's your daughter
spicy.
now. Remember that.
I understand that, but I just got spicy. I was always very sweet. I'm serious. As a child,
I
I
have
was
extra
never. You can ask her. I'm telling you, I was never out of line as a kid. I never got whoopings, honey. I didn't have time for that. I had things to do.
Me either, because my one was
I
too
couldn't.
big.
I did it. I got disciplined really hard one time that I remember, because I just wasn't a bad kid. It wasn't in me.
I was a bad kid, brother. But you know what? I was my father's favorite, so he rarely whooped me. And I'll make sure if I'm about to get the whooping, somebody else will get it in my place. That's how good I was. But
You're the baby though, right?
I'm the baby girl. I have a baby brother, but I'm the baby girl. So and it's
Okay.
only 2 girls with 6 brothers. So I got it my way.
You're ruined.
But you know, yes, you can say that. But my father spanked me. I'm not saying he didn't. He spanked me, I think I can count how many times, but I could see him spank my brothers so many times because I would get them in trouble when I started the trouble.
That's
But
not right.
they grew up to be very you've met my brothers,
Yeah, I
well-respected men in society. They didn't die. So my children, it's the same philosophy. I just got it from my parents. We didn't die when they whooped us, and we became great kids. I'm not raising thugs. I'm raising honorable men in society. So, honey, if I did not die from spanking, I will spank you into place. And my children know me.
Yeah.
And he knows the eyes. My parents used to use the eyes.
That's right.
Where they look at you. You know, children these days, you will look
Oh, yeah.
and you look all different. And they're laughing at you. No, my children know the eye, honey.
My daughter, we are developing our language through eyes, because first of all, she can't talk yet. She can't talk yet. That's number one.
Right.
But number 2, I do this whole thing with her while she's in her car seat. And you know, they have the rear view mirror thing. So I look at her. She looks back at me. Sometimes when I'm stopped, I'll look back at her, and I'm just trying to develop. This is how we talk to each other.
No,
You don't always have to speak to talk, but when you talk to me, don't talk out of line because I'm going to show you exactly where to put that tongue back.
Yeah.
And,
No, I agree.
I like that.
It's not
With the
happening.
tongue back. So with my children, I've developed that eye thing. I look once. I don't have to look twice. I look once, or my boy gets he gets an order. And all of them know. Now I have to do that with the baby.
The baby, he's going to run the whole show.
Yeah, the baby's gonna run the whole show. I don't know. I don't know if I did the eyes with my children. I probably just popped them.
You seem like a mama that would
Oh
pop.
yeah, I probably
And
did.
see, you know, I have to be careful because I wear these rings, honey, and I am just...
I didn't wear the rings. I have nails, but when my children got that light, they know I probably got a twinkle. And if they said something, and if they listen, and if they both were on the side, they said something like.
Firecracker red, honey. She's going.
And then they'll be like, boop, boop. Don't be upset now. Because you know not to try me like that. Y'all know me.
Oh my
And
God.
they're like, my children thought my mom is crazy.
Lady.
And then I used to tell their friends, listen, you better tell them children, but tell their parents. If I can't treat them like I treat y'all, they can't come over
They
here.
can't be your
I know that's right.
They cannot.
I
be
agree
your
with
friend.
that.
And they're
They
not coming in
can't
my
come
home.
over here.
Yeah.
And they talking about mom. You better tell them children, mom.
Yeah, I'll never put my hands on anyone else's child, but I will certainly give them a tongue lashing.
I
You are
will
not
give
going
it-
to
Oh,
talk
it's
to me any
like
kind of
waste
way.
of time for me. With me, if I'm disciplining my child and you are in my home, I had one mama who wanted to try me because we've been babysitting her daughter. She's become a very good friend of mine. And then she came back and she said, "Oh, Auntie Kaya spanked me." I said, "Honey, the way I spank my child is the way I'll spank your child. If you have a problem, find a new babysitter.
Bye-bye.
I'm not gonna have a little girl disrespect me in my home with my own child.
Don't
disrespecting
disrespect
me.
me.
I feel you on that.
Come on.
I'm not touching nobody else's child, though.
Oh,
I'm going to
my
let you handle them.
I touch in a very nice way.
That's good. It's a love tap.
I love that. And I be telling them I love them when I'm saying, you know I love you, right? Don't
You know that is confusing. We'll have to talk about that next week. That is out of line, Kaya. No doubt. You have some fashion tips for us before we get out of here.
Okay, listen, I just have one. We know this is the season to be fashionable. So listen, dressy occasions. Do not try trends on dressy occasions. You better stick with your silhouette, baby. This ain't time to be going out to the side and want to do something different while you're wearing a gown, because it ain't going to work. I'm telling you, it ain't going to work. So stick with what you know when you want to be fancy. That's all I got for you today.
All right. Any motivation before we leave out?
Yes,
You just got filled up this past
I am
weekend.
filled up. Yes, very filled up. But my motivation is the lines of marriage. For those who are getting married or who are married, remember that marriage is like a garden. You've got to tend to it. If you don't, anything that does not belong in that marriage will grow. And when it grows, sometimes it's hard to take it off. So take care of your marriage.
Oh,
Come on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I like it.
This has been good.
It's been good.
Let's do it again next week.
Yes, take us out.
We will do that next week.
We will do that. Can you take us out in style, Miss Diva?
Y'all got me all choked up.
Yes.
Nothing's off the table when you're in the chair, honey. So come join us next week for some more Shoppe Talk.